Maha Swaha Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Swaha Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Swaha.
Welcome you all to the Lamrim third volume, the teaching on the special insight. And since that the organizers already explained to you the procedure, what we're going to do through, and then once we all sit down, I'll also brief a little bit as to what's going to happen for the next 10, 11 days. So meanwhile, the first, you will make 3 processions together. Then after this, I will offer scarf to His Holiness's throne, and then to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Following that, then all of us will offer lights, and since that this is ideally speaking meant for the NMC students, and then later on, the organizers have been extremely kind that as the opportunities be given to the people, given that that today becomes a very special day with respect to from the point of view of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, here to bless the town, city, the country, and the world, and just next to us, and also that my own teacher, Venerable Geshe is also here, and that this is a place where all my teachers, they actually complete their studies, they practice, and then disseminate, involved in disseminating the precious Buddha Dharma everywhere from this place. So, and also that, as you can hear, the echoes, the sounds, of many scholars, young scholars debating is all about emptiness, bodhicitta, and so forth. And then just imagine that the the monastic scholars, the monks, how they've been practicing, and the wisdom of emptiness, bodhicitta, and how many in the huge numbers realize emptiness in this place. In this place meaning here in the monastery. And likewise, how many have generated bodhicitta. This is indeed the embodiment of Nalanda, the erstwhile Nalanda University. So given that this is a situation, let us take the maximum advantage of our being here. And then first of all, let us make 3 prostrations together to His Holiness, to all my teachers and all the Nalanda great masters, and then to be rooted to the whole sun, the sun, to eliminate the darkness of ignorance in the minds of all demon sentient beings, which is the Buddha Shakyamuni and all the Nalanda masters. So let us first make 3 prostrations and offer lights, and then given that all of us, except for few, the rest of us, many of you have attended the retreats in one way or the other, different forms, and the particular retreats conducted by Tibet House and collaborated with various other institutions. So with light offerings, just the visualization or what you should be, what kind of motivation with which to offer the lights. These are very important. This is an incredibly great opportunity for us. As I said earlier, the organizers, so Manla, Vichenla, Ajikasanla, and Chola Tendol, who has been extremely kind, helpful in so many ways, inspirations, and then all the Tsanpa Khangtsen, the monks, greatly inspiring for us. So they so kindly made it available for as many people, but the only condition required is that the person should be serious And it's not just like the taking it very lightly, just drop in. Instead of that, there's somebody who takes this serious, so you're entitled to be here. So with this mind, making the light offering, to make it very quick, we are going to, the book is already distributed, so this book, and I think should be on page 7, you already know the verse, 7 and 8, with folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and miseries gloom. This is what we're going to recite as the light offerings are being done. And then when we do the light offerings, please, there are 2 sides there, and the part of the monastics will start from here, and the other monastics start from here, and then the others will follow. Okay, so with this mind, 3 prostrations together, while, again, all these things, the one thing which is so special about our being here is that this is truly, truly, truly a very special moment for all of us. For the reason I said, stated earlier, say Dharma practices of various kinds, and some just primarily directed towards one's own personal practice, personal Dharma, personal benefit, nirvana, and whereas the others for the benefit of all the sentient beings. In other words, to awaken the hidden treasure completely, that you experience total fearlessness and infinite happiness. So that is determined by the motivation bodhicitta. And this is a place where this motivation bodhicitta becomes extremely important, and that you have the capacity, each one of us with the capacity that your Buddha nature can be awakened fully. So this is opportunity. We should not miss opportunity. And there are 8 billion human beings, almost hitting 9 billion human beings. But how many of them got opportunity? Let alone the non-human beings, spirits, the animals, insects, and so forth. Even amongst human beings, how many got opportunity to do that in such a holy place? So that way, so while making prostration, imagine that the Bodhisattvas, His Holiness the Dalai, all my teachers, and all the Narada masters and so forth, and along with all the enlightened beings. And then when you make prostration, not just you, but imagine your 2 parents and all of your members, all sentient beings are making prostration with you, you give the opportunity for all the beings to do that. To do that and be a part of this program. And what we're studying is Lama Tsongkhapa's text. This is extremely, extremely precious. And of course, I will explain more about this a little later. Okay, with this mind, don't forget, don't miss to bring, along with all sentient beings when making prostrations, and to all Buddhas Bodhisattvas 3 times together. Okay, so the monastics, beginning with the monastics, please start to offer the lights.
With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom.
To shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom.
Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. If you wish, you may make prostrations to the teacher. Please be seated. Please be seated. Once again, let us quickly gather our thoughts, recollect the kindness of the Triple Jewels, and with the full gratitude in heart, let us place our palms together. Let us place our palms together to request the teacher to give the teachings. Geshe, kindly give us the teachings. Thank you.
Okay, so once more, it is incredibly great blessing for all of us that we are here in Drepung Loseling Monastery, where our program coincided with His Holiness's visit here, and we're extremely meritorious, and that all of us we're going to have the opportunity. Let us pray that as planned, the audience with His Holiness will actually happen. Let's pray for that. And meanwhile, what is very important, this retreat becomes very special in many ways. First of all, let me quickly share with you how this retreat came into being. Initially, it was years ago. Okay. So you're going to see many of the traditional way of that teachings happen. So let me quickly share with you how this retreat came into being, and then we'll proceed with the regular prayers, followed by the organizers and Tsanpa Khangtsen doing the regular ritual of offering the mandalas, and then we'll start with the teaching. So this retreat, unlike others, is very special in ways of many factors come into being, and initially it was that this one Geshe Shishula, who, when he was the administrator of Drepung Loseling Monastery, requested, knowing that many of such retreats were conducted in different places, requested if I can conduct a retreat here in Drepung Loseling Monastery as well for the lay audience. And then the time I don't want to use the word no, but this was what I said. And then later, I think Geshe, our organizer, hiding there. Geshe again come in contact with Drepung Tsanpa Khangtsen, and particularly there. again, it was they coming together, and again,
never open. He also never open.
made a very strong request if this can be happen, and then again the answer was the same. And the next, Manla and Vichengla, our the host here, again they made the request. Again with Sonamla, they're involved, and that time Sonamla was a part of the Khangtsen's like administrative the department. Made the request, and my answer was little no, but with explanation. Explanation to Manla and Vichenla, explanation, because that, why no? This was the question, so I explained it. So primarily, the reason, we have to know all these things. But we have to know all these things. This is the dynamic, this is the dynamism or the dynamics between the teacher and student. So what I told two of them very clearly is that my own teacher is here in Drepung Loseling Monastery, my own teacher. And he's such an incredibly brilliant luminary, brilliant, a replica of Naldi Arinagarjuna is here, and how is it as a student, I can't imagine myself being there, and then in the place where my teacher, just as the second Arinagarjuna, is here, and then I'm teaching here. This is not really suitable. And number one, out of my incredibly great respect, devotion, reverence to my own teacher, number one. Number two, that in the monastery setting, that how the monastics, they grow, they're being nurtured. There is something so unique. And then so the number two explanation given. And so this was what was, although I explained this to them, and then knowing that, the Manla Vichenla and earlier Achikesangla and Chola Tendola, so knowing that they have very pure mind, and in the monastic universities, so the monks, the scholars, they know that the tradition is such that if there's any request coming from even one person, you should be request for teaching, you should not decline. This was what was going in my mind. So that was always in like a dilemma. So particularly very strong request coming from the Manla Vichenla, and then later the Sonamla there. Some there, he's always there. And then sometimes he was smiling, sometimes he was serious. So deep inside me, there was a little bit of dilemma in my mind. So that the tradition is such that any request comes, you cannot decline. This is the tradition. On the other hand, out of my deep reverence for my own teacher, and that I've learned the humility from my teachers. So therefore, to just put on the facade is so like, you're teaching there in the presence of my own teacher. That is, I don't like it. So this was the dilemma going on. And then so finally, in my mind, somehow of the two, the sides, that the people, they come here, they've been hearing about my teacher's greatness. Then they hear about these anecdotes, bits and pieces of anecdotes here and there, and they want to know what this holy place is like. Drepung Loseling Monastery, what this is like. And so considering all these factors, then gradually my mind said, okay, now what's the problem? Just accept it. So that, all these people, otherwise they're not going to, the way I got the chance, like how these young, these scholars, young monk scholars, how they got a chance, I got a chance like this. And then why not others also get the chance to feel the flavor of what the monastic tradition is like, the beauty of compassion. So this basic framework, the spirit of these incredibly great traditions started by Lama Tsongkhapa back in 14th century. The fabric is a compassion. Compassion, you can feel that everywhere. You can see the smiles, you can see, the ease. These are things that we can learn from this kind of ambience that we are feeling here. So with this mind, then I accepted. So, and then particularly initially the program is confined to restricted or confined to the only NMC, the participants, and for the NDC the last 3 days. And then 2 days ago on the airplane, all these deeper contemplations were happening in my mind as to how this is just all because of the presence of His Holiness in the same premise. And then when I first heard that His Holiness is visiting that place, so I checked with Ajahn Sanla, and I informed Mamla and Weichang also. I warned them, and I was checking with Ajahn Sanla. So this is what is happening. So we need to check whether this program can be continued. So all these things were going behind. So while you were, applying for the enrollment, but at the back of the scene, all these things are happening. And then because that finally people have to get leave from their jobs, get visas, flight tickets, all these complications are there. So we have to inform them as soon as possible if the program cannot happen. So I was checking with the office of Islam, particularly this one secretary. I called him directly, and luckily he picked up the phone instantly. And then I informed him that I heard a rumor that good rumor that His Holiness is going to be being visited in South India. If that's happening, then please, if you can inform me the date, tentative dates, and then I explained the reason, because we also have already planned a program, and if you know that in advance, because the moment His Holiness is there, the sun illuminates. When the sun illuminates, moon is not much of relevance. So therefore, why should we have to waste time? And then so then the secretary told me that the Dorji don't change the program. His Holiness will be very happy to hear that there is a beautiful program happening in His Holiness's presence. So with this assurance given, so we then continued. So this is the background information. So having said this, 2 days ago on the aeroplane, I was thinking about all these thoughts are spontaneous coming in my mind as to the people coming, and then there are other people also who are who have interest in dharma, and on the spot again there are going to be more other people and so forth. Therefore, this is in the presence of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, with my teachers, and the place where they like the whole garden where the flowers of bodhicitta, flowers of wisdom emptiness grow. So then why not we give chance to as many people who are interested? So with this in mind, then we had a small meeting very quickly with the organizers, 3 of the organizers, and along with the Khangtsen, the members, and then we decided to open it up to the people who are genuinely interested, who may not be from NMC is fine, but who are very genuinely interested. We can open this up to them as well. And for what? That each one of us, we can make a commitment here. commitment that this is very, very special place, special time when His Holiness is here, and who actually is the ultimate source of the compassion, bodhicitta, universal compassion. So each one of us is a great opportunity for us to not to miss even a second of our presence here, to pray that may I too become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, just as His Holiness the Dalai Lama did it, just as the Buddha Shakyamuni did it, just as Lama Tsongkhapa did it, and they go back in time, just as Acharya Chandrakirti did it, Buddha Sarachandadeva did it, then Arya Nagarjuna did it, then Arya Manjushri, and the Arya Maitreya, Arya Balokiteshvara, Arya Tara, then Arya Vajrapani, and then finally how the Buddha, they all become enlightened by the spirit, having initially generated the spirit of bodhicitta. May then each one of us, let's take advantage that may I too become enlightened for the benefit of sentient beings. So this great opportunity. Otherwise, everywhere in the world, there are many, many places, mindfulness meditation, this meditation, that meditation. But there, may I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient. That is very rare. So it's not that we are special. This place is special, time is special, His Holiness is special. So therefore, on behalf of all the people in the world, in the universe, in the Milky Way galaxy, and the entire universe, on behalf of each of the sentient beings, let's pray that I take the responsibility for all the beings, that I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. So let us make this opportunity, and this verse, that I go for refuge in the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Just try to recite this verse right from the moment you get up till you go to bed, and in between, in the evenings, you get a chance, have the group discussions happen, and also the monastic the debate sessions also happening, so you can also go there, say prayers. Just imagine this is a place where 1,000 years ago in Nalanda, Arya Nagarjuna was there, and all these great teachers were there, and the students were there, scholars, they were generating bodhicitta, they were having a fresh realization of emptiness. This is exactly the place where what happened there, then now this is the place where it was happening. So keep in mind that may I too generate this bodhicitta and wisdom emptiness for the benefit of sentient beings. It's 10 days, 11 days of your life, and will not get this chance ever again. In the future lives, I'm sure you have to pray that in future lives also this will become true, that as you're born as a little boy or little girl, like Geshe Naropa, the great teacher Geshe Naropa, as early as age 7, 8, 9, 10, he would just speak all these brilliant thoughts, like, say, the Dharma is to liberate me, and if the parents, you love me so much, the best way to love me is to take me from samsara to nirvana to Buddhahood, not to drag me down in samsara more. So these are things that we need to remember. And that because of our having planted incredibly precious, beautiful seed in this life, 10 day, 11 day here, in the presence of His Holiness and my teachers, my teacher here, and the place where all my teachers, like Venerable Devadaji Rinpoche, Venerable Geshe Gyaltsojinpa Rinpoche, Venerable Geshe Namgyal Wanchen Rinpoche, Geshe Stakwe Rinpoche, and Geshe Bemadaji Rinpoche, and all these great teachers, they were nurtured, brought up, and then actually served the Dharma, served sentient beings from this place. So all these small anecdotes. So once in a while, I would be happy to share them with you. So what happened here and there to these young scholars when I was studying the way they're studying now at this age, when I was their age. So this was, I would be happy to share some of the anecdotes once in a while here and there then. Okay. So having said this, now, the next part is about basically what you're going to do. So here, the first thing is that the book that is in your hand, The Blaze. just make sure that each one of you got this book. And if you did not get this book, if you have the old version, I would suggest you to get the new version. If you have the old version, I would suggest you must get the new version. And some of you may not be, you may prefer soft copies. You also got the soft copies. And the reason why I'm saying this is that this is the most updated, and as well as this is a final copy. The final copy, final meaning that now this is the final edition. It took us like 20 years. It took us 20 years, and all the early editions, they were not really the final version. Now this is the final version. And of course, even this final can also go through further improvement. But as of now, this is the final. And there are some modifications here and there, some major edits being introduced. So therefore, those who have the old version, I would for sure suggest you to get your copy of this book for you. Now, and this book, we have how it comes to you for free is that they are say three donors, three generous donors. Number one, brother Alvin and Sister Christy from Singapore, and we have Brother Sonamla here, Brother Sonam there, Brother Sonamla and his family, Stephanie. And the whole family, the parents, the whole family there, and two of them supported the printing of this book, and they made the offerings, and then they made it very clear that this book be made available free of cost for all the participants of the retreats. So you are having this copy, is your copy, and it's all coming from the generous offerings. So let us pray for them, their healthy, good life with the virtues, with the growth, awakening of the Buddha nature, the generation Bodhicitta of this emptiness. Let's pray for that. And then so we have the programs, the timetable as the organizers already must have informed you. And they are all set. So meanwhile, there's group discussion. The group discussion is there, and because that this is quite the big group, so therefore we have the organizers may have split into 20 groups, 10 groups. Okay, 10 groups, each with 20 participants, and each group with 2 subgroups. And with the tendency that there's going to be like the 2 subgroups. If the groups become smaller, then they can merge. Okay, that's a different story. So with this in mind, the group leaders, or we call it the moderators, at least for the first 3 days. First 3 days, we have identified the organizers. We've identified some people to moderate, those who have experience, those who have attended the retreats, this kind of retreat more, who tend to have seen what the group discussion is like. So the idea is that that at least the first 3 days, the group leaders or the moderators, they will make sure that your group, all the participants, everyone gets the maximum opportunity to speak, to ask questions, give answers, and so forth. And given ideally speaking, this is for NMC 1, NMC 2. So therefore, I would say that I'm not going to restrict it the way I do it in the other retreats, that the seniors should not speak too much. But here is for you, for the seniors. So therefore, the seniors can, you come reference between, you come with the questions, but maybe the first day and the second day, you make it a little more relaxed. Don't jump into the complicated questions. Make it more relaxed, because that, as I said earlier, it is though intended for the seniors, but even the others also, they say they entertained, invited. Now, considering that this being a very special time and place for the people, it's just once in the lifetime. So with this in mind, maybe the first 2 days, take it more easy, group discussions. Don't jump too much into the complications right from beginning. Then from day 3, what I would suggest is that don't try to discuss what of complicated questions that you had from your past. Instead, if you do have complicated questions, you can bring up those questions related to the teachings that we have done, either in the last, which month? March. The 2025 March, we did the first part of this retreat. So from there also you can bring the questions. And if you do that, I would say that those who did not attend the last retreat, those who attended, I would suggest you to first create a little bit of background. If you want to they come with a question from the past retreat, which means the section chapter 1 through to chapter 14. So chapter 1 through to 14, we already covered that. So from there, if you have some questions to the group, then they just quickly give the background in the text. Is like this. So those people who attend, join this retreat as a fresher, they'll get some idea so that they will not get lost. So this is one thing that I'd like to request. And the next thing that I'd like to share with you is that this text is going to be, which we're going to study now. We come to the technical side. So therefore, you won't you'll be quite surprised, or that actually I spent a lot of time, because this is now we have reached to a very technical side, and some of you may feel that, oh, it's too much, it's too complicated. You're getting it? So therefore, those from NMC 1 and NMC 2, I'm very confident that you will really enjoy it. The more technical it is, you may enjoy it. But those who are joining from outside the NMC 1 and NMC 2, you may feel it a little overwhelming, little too technical. What we suggest is that if you find it technical, take it positively. That Buddha's teachings is so rich. It is it's an application side of compassion, and meanwhile the sophistication of the philosophy. Sophistication of philosophy to make the compassion sophisticated, extremely intricate. So this is what the Bodhisattva's compassion is like. So our compassion, when we think about compassion, we have own idea as what it is. But when we try to study the Bodhisattva's part, particularly the Abhisamaya Alankara Mondokyan and what is that? Ornament of clear realization. When you study that, all the sophisticated the thought processes, the parts of the Bodhisattvas, when you see that, then you realize that it truly requires the human mind or sentient being's mind, or the mind has an incredibly great potential to grow in a very sophisticated way. Each one of us has this potential. So take it very positively that I do have the potential to become Buddha, to know all these very easily. So if I don't know now, but I have the potential. So I'm planting the seed now. Plant the seed meaning seed is not visible, seed is underground. And later it will germinate. But first we have to plant it in the seed, which is not visible at the moment. So you may not get a feeling that I learned a lot this time, particularly those who are outside the NMC 1 and NMC 2, you may feel that this is, I didn't learn anything. Actually, you have planted a seed, a beautiful, very precious seed, I would say that, which most likely we have not planted since time immemorial till today. And we're planting this in the present. Not because of anything else, it's because the text is very special. Lama Tsongkhapa text is amazing. So I was reading, studying this almost like every day, 3-4 hours spending to read the Tibetan, read the English, to check the accuracy of the translation, and to check the nuances. All these things I've been spending like this number of hours, and knowing that this is technical, I will be switching the chapters, because sometimes I'll bring the easier chapters, And then once you're a little ready, you will go into this, gradually slide down into the more technical sides. So when we do reach the technical sides, the thing is that just feel the joy. This is what all these monastic scholars, thousands of the monastic scholars, this is what they're learning. So with this mind, feel the joy that I'm in the place where these obscure thought processes are being debated, studied, and yes, so this is what I would suggest. Okay, so with this mind, today who is leading the prayer? Okay, I'll lead the prayer. Yes, I said it. Okay, so what we do is that let's turn to the fresh copy of this book, The Blaze. Okay, so the why I said that to use the fresh copy is for multiple reasons. There are in some cases, there are major changes introduced. Concept-wise is same, but the language, ease of reading, and the nuances, these are added. And yes, for this book, multiple hands are involved. Okay, the Tejala here, no? Tejala not here? Okay, so in fact, it started with it's initially started with many hands, like Tia, then the Tharani, and then all these, the Tibet House, the secretaries, the earlier secretaries, and then finally Tejala, and then Professor Gavrila, her hands also involved there. And then before Tejala was the Venerable Srinla Puja, Dora Puja, Venerable Srinla's hand there, and then handed over to Tejala, again back to Venerable Puja, finally, and this came into being. So this is the final outcome with all, in a way, although it took us a lot of time, like 20 years, but it's worth it that now it is taken to this good shape. So with this mind, let us turn to page 3 and the second proper motivation. As the great Tibetan masters, they say that the two activities, two activities are very important, or two activities. The one at the beginning and the one at the end. At the beginning, setting proper motivation, and at the end, dedicate the merits properly. And for setting proper motivation, let us visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and our Manjushri, our Maitreya, our Avalokiteshvara. And if you can imagine the enlightened beings, you can imagine them. If not, don't worry. Just think of Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness, then the Arinagarjuna, Acharya Chandrakirti, and Lama Tsongkhapa, that's good enough. And otherwise, those who can imagine these enlightened beings as I mentioned, you try to contemplate, you visualize them. So His Holiness, the Lama, Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Are Manjushri, Are Maitreya, then Are Vajrapani, Are Avalokiteshvara, Are Tara, Are Manjushri, Are Nagarjuna, then the Bodhisattva Arideva, Acharya Buddhapalita, Acharya Nagabodhi, then Acharya Chandrakirti. Then on the other side, from the lineage of the vast perfection practice, with Arya Sangha, Acharya Vasubandhu, Acharya Dignaga, Acharya the Dharmakirti. And then from here, we mentioned till Acharya Chandrakirti, and then Bodhisattva Shantideva, Bodhisattva Chandrakshita, Acharya Kamalashil, and then all these traditions, particularly the two traditions of the Bodhicitta, they confluenced at the point of Lama Selingpa, Indonesia, incredibly great master, and then from him, Lama Deshitapingara Shri Jnana, And think of all the great teachers, Guru Padmasambhava, and all the great teachers of the Nyingma tradition, and the great masters, Saraha, Tilopa, the great master, Tilopa, great master, Naropa, Jizumaraba, Jizumila, Jizum Gambapa, and all these great lineage masters of the Kagyu tradition, and from the Sagyo Sajin Yingpo, and all these great Sakya masters, and Lama Tsongkhapa authored the text, Geshe Rinpoche, Kyedru Rinpoche, all the great teachers of the Gerupa tradition, and tradition, the great teachers of the Chinese tradition and the Theravada tradition, just visual all of them, and seek, then imagine that all these enlightened beings, they are looking upon with so much love and affection, and here we have this holiness, and my teacher, Venerable Geshe Bandar Rinpoche, they're so happy to see that you are studying this text. And imagine, for the Bodhicitta field, visualize your two grandparents, and you may have some issues with the parents in some cases. Don't worry at all. We are what we are learning here is to revolutionize our thinking. And each one of us, we have the tendency that if had it been the case that your parents, since your childhood, since you were age 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at such young age that you didn't love and get this love and affection from your parents, then we all have the tendency not to feel aversion to the parents. It's not just one person, to majority have this tendency, and now our job is not to feel that, okay, I'm the very unfortunate one, I do get the chance to experience this love and affection from my parents to my childhood. Just feel the reality for the beings. Anybody who's deprived of this love and affection at a young age will not feel this up to the parents. This is the nature of all the beings. So now, this text in this holy place, in the presence of this holiness, in the presence of our teacher, Venerable Geshe Bandar Rinpoche. So now it's time for me to revolutionize my thinking, where I will not be affected by any external factors. Simply let my Buddha nature manifest in its true nature, where there's where all the cognitive the shortcomings, the cognitive disabilities or the shortcomings are being eradicated, limitations were eradicated, that I be freed from all the fears of samsara, thereby experiencing fearlessness, and that my compassion, the true nature of my mind, the compassion flows so spontaneously in every atom and every monosensation beings. So this is what we are trying to, what we expect, what we envision, to really get to this level of the realization where external factors will not matter at all. So this is what I'm trying to practice. So with this in mind, just visualize all the beings, including your parents and everyone with you. And the purpose of our being together here is to awaken a Buddha nature. Awaken the Tathagata Garba in Tibetan, the Shinshibe Nyingbo, that Tathagata Garba, to awaken this Buddha nature within us. For that matter, we all know that that this incredibly precious treasure within us, Buddha nature, is not visible for the reason that mental obscurations or mental defilements obscure this. So our job is to cleanse the mind of these mental defilements so that the Buddha nature himself will be awakened. So for that matter, we need to apply the remedies to cleanse the mind of these mental defilements. And what remedies to apply is determined by the nature of the defilements. And the nature of the defilements is such that, as Nagarjuna indicated, ceasing karma afflictions is nirvana. Karma afflictions arise from conceptualization of inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. And it is through the wisdom of emptiness that these elaborations will cease. So, keeping this in mind, we can realize that the nature of all the defilements somehow is connected with the self-grasping ignorance, and in the form they then self-grasp ignorance with its offshoots becoming grosser and grosser till the level of the contaminated karmas, or these all in the this all constituting what is known as the afflictive obscurations and the subtle stains of this subtle stains, which is precisely known as the cognitive obscurations. So, given that all these material forms somehow they are associated, they're connected with the self-grasping, the ignorance, knowing the reality, failing to know the reality, the remedy lies in the wisdom to counteract this ignorance. So with this mind generate a very strong feeling, very strong motivation to actually realize this wisdom which in turn allows us to let our compassion, universal compassion, free for it to flow so freely the way it does in the case of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all the nine masters like Adisha Venerable Geshe Pandita Rinpoche. So imagine that you are leading this practice and all beings are joining us. With this mind, let's turn to page 3. And okay, so keep in mind that when we recite these verses, there are 3 ways of reciting this. 1, where the words flow. Number 2, the words flow and the meaning is reflected. Number 3, the words flow, meaning is reflected, and the experiences invoked. And where, in the case of, I would say that I would expect NMC1 participants. NMC1 participants, you should have reached the 3rd level. This is what I'm expecting, right? If not, don't worry. Now make a fresh commitment. Okay, now I'm in this place. Yes, he's right. It's already 10 years. 10 years. So now, I say I have to do with I have to at least, he is expecting this much. The 3rd level in Drepung, in the presence of His Holiness. Okay, so I'm not yet there, but don't worry. I will put my effort in this direction. So if you make a commitment, fresh commitment that will in this direction, that is that's good enough. So with this mind, to say the difference among these 3 things is that where you spend the same amount of time, so maybe like 5 minutes or 3 minutes reciting these, and the same amount of energy, but the benefit you get is going to be just multiplied thousands and millions of times, where you read the text just with the words flow, it's just one side. And with the meanings reflected, the benefit will be multiplied by 1,000 times. And the experiences invoked multiplied by 1,000,000 times. This is difference. So with this mind, imagine that you lead in this practice and all beings are join us, particularly those who passed away in a family, and the beings the different members who passed away, and also those all the beings in the wars who passed away, in the hospitals who passed away, or otherwise. And just imagine all of them are with us. In short, all the beings, whether alive or passed away, or whether human beings or non-human beings, just include everybody. So this will allow us to generate bodhicitta more quickly when we practice bodhicitta. So with this mind, let's turn to page 3. And due to great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha, I pay homage. And due to great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And due to great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Sanje Juda Soge Chonam Lai Chanju Pardo Dane Kyamsu Che Tage Chinso Kebe Chonam Ge Droga Penjere Sanje Drubare Shum Sanje Juda Soge Chonam Lai Chanju Pardo Dane Kyamsu Chem Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Ge Drola Benjere Sanye Rubara Shu Sanye Choda Soge Chonam Lai Chanju Pardo Dane Kyamsu Chem
Dāngyē jīnsō kēpē sōnāngyē Dōlā pēngyē sāngyē dūparē shō. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am by my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the Supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is for liberations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the host of the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas as follows. The Lord for all which leads the hearers seeking pacification, complete peace. The Lord for all past whose souls help magnificent Bodhisattvas ultimately achieve the aims of the world. And omniscience through the possession of which helps subdue various expounded varieties of teaching, endowed with complete aspects of subjects. The one who is transformed into the lovable guide, motivated ultimately to benefit sentient beings. The teachers who guide and protect her to your administrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and has endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who turn and shines forth the forever noble light rays to you, the Buddha, make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. And as we recite this mantra, essence of dependent origin mantra, Tente Yingbu Sunga, let us make sure that we are mindful of the meaning of the whole mantra. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. This is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-light, and non-composite. Such is the nectar dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the woods. Beyond our trends, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space, is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times of the obeisance, the four seats of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are nature of suffering. all phenomena, nature, emptiness and selflessness, transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is also everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly diminish, give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realization Lord transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that the beings are liberated. And instructions on parting from the four attachments. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there's grasping, you do not have the view. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the within mysteries gloom. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and with all sentient beings to be my guests, I will engage in excellent with the deeds of enlightenment, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, let us turn to page 15. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the Tathagata, the full destroyer, the completed, perfected, full awakened being, perfect knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completed and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When all supreme amongst humans who are born on this earth, you pace us 7 strides and set them supreme in this world. To you who rise then I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, one of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Breastfeed like you, the 3 worlds are not, incompatible wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, fill of merit with qualities like vast ocean, to you the Tathagata prostrate. The virtue that frees from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, or devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha prostrate. I prostrate to the Buddha, the supreme, I prostrate to the Dhamma, the protector. I prostrate to the Sangha, the supreme one. To all 3 I always prostrate with reverence. With extreme devotion do I always prostrate to all these overt prostrations, through surrendering my bodies, numbering particles, and consider all realms. Do not commit any non-virtuous action. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through this subdue 4 falls and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness and death. Okay, today we'll recite, the day 1 will recite the sun illuminating the threefold faith, praise to 17 Dalai Masters, composed by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, page 21. Page 21. Born from great compassion, aspire to help all beings. God of gods, you have attained the savior state of abandonment and realizations. You guide beings through the cause of dependent origination. O Buddha, the son of speech, I bow my to you. I implore you at your feet, O Nagarjuna, more skilled in elucidating such as free of elaborations, the Minu Sutras, the mother conquerors, through the profound reason of dependent origination. In accord with the conqueror's prophecy, you initiated the middle way, supreme vehicle. I implore you, O Bodhisattva Deva, the chief disciple of Nagarjuna, most learned and realized, who has crossed the ocean of Buddhist and non-Buddhist systems and is the crown jewel among those of Nagarjuna treatises. I implore you, O Buddha Padita, who has reached the supreme adepт state and who has clearly elucidated our Nagarjuna's intent, the final meaning of dependent origination, the profound point of mere designation, mere label. I implore you, O Master of Viveka, most accomplished Pandita, you initiated the philosophical tradition wherein, while negating the extremes of truly existing things, arising and so forth, you uphold the commonly verified knowledge and external reality. I implore you, O Chandrakirti, who disseminated all the paths of sutras and tantras, who were most skilled in teachings and profound in the vast aspects of the middle way, the unit of appearance and emptiness dispelling the true extremes by means of dependent origination, that is mere conditionality. I implore you, O Bodhisattva Shantideva, skilled in bravery to fortunate spiritual trainees, excellent path of compassion, that is greatly wondrous, through a multitude of reasoning most profound and vast. I implore you, O Master Albert Chandrasheta, who initiated the tradition of the non-dual middle way in accordance with the trainee's mental disposition, were versed in the reasoning most I implore you at your feet, O Kamalashila, you who have explained excellently the stages of meditation of the middle way view, free of elaborations, and the unit of triangulated and insight in accordance with the Sutra and Tantra, flawlessly elucidate the conquest teaching in the land of snows. I implore you at your feet, O Asanga, you who, sustained by Maitreya, were versed in disseminating excellently all Mayan scriptures and taught the vast path, and who, in accord with Congress prophecy, initiated the traditional mind only. I implore you at your feet, O Master Vajrabandhu, you who, while upholding the systems of the seven Abhidhamma treatises as well as non-duality, illuminated the tenets of my Bhashikas, or Trintika and mind only. Learned ones, you are renowned as the second omniscient one. I implore you at your feet, O Dignaga, you through the evidence-based reasoning, open a thunderfold gateways of the system of logic, and offer its gift to the world the eyes of critical intelligence. I implore you at your feet, O Dharmakirti, you who, understanding all essential points of both Buddhist and non-Buddhist epistemology, brought conviction in all the profound of the You are most versed in teaching the excellent Dharma. I implore you at your feet, O Arya Vimuktisena, you who lit the lamp illuminates the meaning of the ornament treatises. Wherever in the streams of professional wisdom stemming from a Sangha and his brother were expounded, with a middle way view free of existence and non-existence. O Master Haribhatra, who were prophesied by the conquerors as expounded the meaning of the mother, the professional wisdom. You elucidated the excellent treatises on professional wisdom, the three mothers, in perfect accord with the instruction of the Savior Maitreya. And throw you at your feet, O Gunaprabha, O excellent in both integrated scholarship, who having excellent distilled the 10,000 discipline teachings, expounded the individual liberation. We have a vast treatises. I implore you, O Chuatisha, you who are having taught all the profound of the vast traditions related to the words of the Buddha, within the framework of the path of the persons of three capacities, were the most kind master disseminating the Buddha's teachings in the land of snows. Having thus entreated these most learned ornaments of the world, excellent source of the wondrous insightful teachings, may I be blessed so that my mind becomes ripened and free. Through the entreaty I've made with pure, by understanding the two truths, the ontological reality will be ascertained how through the four truths we enter the samsara, will make firm the faith in the true jewels that is born of valid reason. May I be blessed so that the root of the path of liberation is firmly established within me. May I be blessed to perfect the training in renunciation and aspiration of liberation, the total pacification of suffering and its origin, as well as in an uncontrived bodhicitta, that it is rooted in infinite compassion that wishes to protect all sentient beings. May I be blessed so that I may easily develop conviction in all the paths pertaining to the profound points of the perfection and vice of the eagle. By engaging in study, reflection, meditation on the meaning of the 20s of the great 12 blazes, may I in all afterlife obtain excellent births that support the three trainings and contribute to the teachings that equal to the great 12 blazes in upholding and disseminating the teaching of the scripture and in realization through engaging in exposition meditative practice. May the members of all spiritual communities spend their time in learning, reflection, meditation, sharing wrong livelihood through the proliferation of sublime masters. May the great face of the earth be beautified throughout all being. Through the power of this supplication, may I traverse all the paths of Sutra and Tantra and surely attain the state of conqueror's omniscience, characterized by spontaneous realization of the true purposes, the work for the welfare of sentient beings. Okay, we'll read the Heart Sutra, page 31. Reading Heart Sutra, a quick reminder for all of us, reading Heart Sutra, and with the background given there, Buddha presiding over the whole congregation, attended by Avalokiteshvara and Shariputra. 3 points not missed. Number 1, what is the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Number 2, what is the response given by Avalokiteshvara to Shariputra? And number 3, what is the benefit of what benefit we get out of if we practice as Avalokiteshvara taught in response to a question asked by Shariputra. So here the first question is, our question by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara is, how should the child of a lineage practice professional wisdom? And given that this is primarily for the NMC 1 and 2, so therefore not really explain this, you should be knowing this, and those who are new, don't worry too much about it. And then the response Avalokiteshvara gave is that the form is empty, empty is form, empty is not a form is also not other than emptiness, that everything's like a dream, everything's like illusion. And discovering that the manner in which you wake up from the sleep, to discover that whatever happened in the dream, all the fears, all the ghost that appear in the dream is just a part of your dream. It's purely subjective, empty of objective reality. With this recognition, all your fears drop. This is how we attain the fearlessness. And then, alongside cognitively, the erroneous perception of the dream is real. When that stops, the fear stops, and then the erroneous appearance stops, then you attain the infinite ease, which is technically known as Buddhahood. So, remembering these 3 points, let us recite this Heart Sutra, day 1. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on Mars of Vulture's mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound profession of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara said this to Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or total lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound profession of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, empty is the form, empty is not other than form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unseen, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no opportunity touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on, including no mind element, no mental conscious element. There's no ignorance, no extension of ignorance, and so on, up to and include no aging and death, and no extension of aging and death. Similarly, there's no suffering, origination, cessation path, there's no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Buddha, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on dwelling in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, there is the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifest the complete awakening, unsurpassed, perfect, complete enlightenment, reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal and unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Yata Om Gade Gade Bara Gade Bara Samgade Bodhiso. Buddha, Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train in a profound professional wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration, commanded the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Aravaruteshvara. Well said, from the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice a profound professional wisdom indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, Venerable Sharit Vadiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Aravalokiteshvara, those surrounding the entirety and over the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed in a high praise that is spoken by the Buddha. As we recite the hearts of the mantra, just visualize that my job is to awaken this Buddha nature by remove the mental dirt gradually. For that matter, I have to have the realization of the wisdom emptiness, and for this realization, I need to have the conviction in the wisdom emptiness, and for the conviction to get, I need to have the learning of this, the topic emptiness. Alongside, just see that as you recite this mantra, while I'm talking to you, I'm also telling myself, I should be always mindful of that. I as well should be mindful of that, just as I'm sharing with each one of us, that I should become a better and better person. This is what we need to keep in mind, that you can be somebody who is a little short-tempered, just see that, okay, I must not give in to my anger, because that I'm always reciting Gade, Para Gade. Gade means go. Go beyond, go utterly beyond, keep going, don't stop, keep going. Go utterly beyond and establish your full awakening. So this only way by which the wisest thing for me to do in life is that whatever is happening around the world, the first thing that you do is that I have to do is to put every effort, any effort that you put should be towards awakening your Buddha nature, should be to remove your mental dirt, mental afflictions. It's the anger, subside the anger, craving, greed, and so forth. Try to subside. Minimum, for example, I love cheesecake, and so forth. Just see that, okay, if I can minimize. We may think that, some people may think that, you become so boring nowadays. Earlier you used to love cheesecake a lot. You used to hang around with the friends. Now what happened? You become so boring. So these comments will come, don't nobody. Just ignore that. See them like small children. Small children who say, you are so boring. Now you are not not holding the teddy bear anymore. You're getting it? Say, oh, you're still a little child. You're getting it? This is where it should not affect you. Instead, you should feel compassionate towards others. So this is where, as we recite the mantra, just make a commitment. Today here, in this holy place, this is a real holy place in true sense. That His Holiness is here, my teacher is here, and how many, generation after generation, the monastic scholars, they have realized emptiness. How many of them are there in huge numbers, that too in an extremely precise understanding of emptiness. And then how many generations bodhicitta. And as I've been sharing with you, that in my life, that I've people who have seen as, oh, this is very special person, where what the text says about the bodhicitta, I can see this here in this person.
So this is what you usually find in these monastic scholars in the big monastic universities, because they've learned it. And they to meet with such a teaching and the exposure is because of the previous practice that they got the chance to be connected with this here. So, given that this is a very holy place, just let's make a commitment. It doesn't mean from today I will not show, I will not generate any anger. No, this is very, very unrealistic. Although we say I'm not going to be angry, but you can become angry. But deep inside, make a commitment that I must mitigate the power of the anger. I must challenge myself. You have to say so crazy after a cheesecake and so forth. I must challenge myself once in a while to say no and to work rationally, moved by compassion, not by passion. Not my personal passion, but moved by compassion. So this is something to be reminded of as we recite this mantra. So let's say this together 5 times. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Paragati Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata. Page 34. It was of training the mind, particularly for the Bodhicitta side, and the Heart Sutra, particularly for the wisdoms. Page 34, by Geshe with the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may view myself as lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negative suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrong with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have held or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hers and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of their 8 mundane concerns, and may, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my 2 collections, vast space that I have amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds be smiled blinded by ignorance. Okay, page 39, 7 in practice. 7 practice primary for us to accumulate merit and to clear the obstacles, obstructions, so that our journey to enlightenment, awakening Buddha nature become very swift.
the 7 practice, except from the king of practice, prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of the Samadhi. I bow down to the youthful Aramijishri. You, the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, counter freedom in the present, past, and future. In the words of 10 directions, to all of you with bodies, patience, sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms in the world, to all you Buddhas who visualize this real, I bow down. On every particle of Buddhas, numberless as particles, each amidst the host of Bodhisattvas. I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the with my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of the Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugathas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense offered to you victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru. All wonders offering spectacular array offered to victorious ones. Where transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech, and the mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all this openly lay bare before you. I lift my heart, rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and 10 directions, of social realizers, and those beyond, and for ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request whom you make sure as parinirvana. Please stay with us for eons, numberless atoms of the world, for the happiness well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostration, offerings, and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha teach and teach, are now dedicated all this for the full awakening of all beings.
Appreciate mandala offering. This ground united the from student flowers adorned with the monument. Just think the Tibetan one. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Okay, first we'll say this in English and Tibetan. Yeah.
Say in English?
English first.
Okay. This ground united with the perfumed student the flowers adorned with the Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. Imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. So you
So now let us just recite the verse from the Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga. If it's in the announcement, you have the text. Perfect, pure, holy Gurus, from the brilliant clouds of wisdom and compassion in the sky of the Dhammakaya, please let fall a rain of profound and extensive Dhamma upon the receptacle of those to be subdued, exactly as they need. So we humbly request Geshe to please turn the wheel of Dhamma for us.
Okay. Let me just take another few minutes, and then we will have the break. Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Okay, now you see the traditional way of the teachings happening. So while teachings happening, then the tea, everything will be served. Okay, in fact, the young ones come to take part. Imagine that you are young monks. So this is the auspicious beginning where the rice tea served, and the rice is considered, according to the Tibetan saying, it is believed that the rice is considered as the first grain that came on planet Earth, and that saved the human beings. So it's an auspicious beginning of the teaching with serving the rice.
간식은 수저가 표시를 아무래 수저 버려. there. Okay, and what I learned is that the tea that you're going to get is the Tibetan tea. Tibetan is as the butter tea with a little bit of salt instead of sugar. 끝나서 네 진짜 이렇게 Okay, we will make the offering of the rice and the tea, which is, we turn to page 344, page 344. And this part, usually, I don't explain this in the classes. So today, let me just quickly share with you why we are making saying the grace. In English, it is said as saying the grace, or make the offer, saying the verses of offering the food to the triple gem. So why we're doing that? This is one thing that we need to remember. Is that finally that our job is whatever we're doing, eating food, making offerings, no offering, whatever, is to awaken our Buddha nature, to keep back, to make us go closer to experience the fearlessness and infinite happiness. And for that matter, we see the greatest inspiration is the triple gem. So, how we connect this, we should feel connected, and then you'll be inspired. You'll feel inspired and aspire to reach there. So, how to connect is always thinking about this, thinking about the qualities of the triple gem, the gurus, and so forth. So therefore, the food prayers, every time, the food is something which people survive on. So when we eat food, you remember the triple gem. You remember Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Automatically, you connect yourself which is so important for me, the food. I first offer to the triple gems, indicating that this is preciousness. Triple gems, they're so precious, so important for us, for our final awakening. So for that matter, we try to connect with the triple gem as much as possible, and that too associated with things which is most important for us, the source of livelihood, source of our life, the food. So we offer this food to connect ourselves with triple gem, so that our mind will feel closer, and we practice the Dhamma, it'll be more effective. And of course, it incorporates what is known as ecumenistic merit and so forth. So with this mind, let's turn to page 344. Page 344, and let's say the money for Mike. You can say this. Page 344. Yes.
We offer this food to the Buddha, the teacher of unconditional love, on the basis of understanding the interdependence of oneself and others. We offer this food to the Dhamma, the perfect teachings of the Buddha. We offer this food to the Sangha, the perfect practitioners of this teaching. By the power of offering this food to the three jewels, may all sentient beings be freed of suffering, of hunger, thirst, fear, and so forth, and eventually be led to full awakening, which is the highest state of happiness. Sangye yon ten sami kya, Choki Yonten Sami Kya, Pape Gendun Sami Kya, Sami Kyap La Dejepe, Nam Pa Ming Pa Ang Sami Kya, Nam Dak Chin La Chupa Pu. The qualities of the Buddha are inconceivable. The qualities of the Dhamma are inconceivable. The qualities of the Arya Sangha are inconceivable. By the power of venerating the inconceivables, the results accrued as well are inconceivable. I offer this food to the inconceivable views of perfection. Hompala me Sangye Rinpoche, Kyopala me Damchu Rinpoche, Trempala me Gendun Rinpoche, Kyamne Kuncho Sumla Chupapo. The precious Buddha is the sublime teacher. The precious Dhamma is the sublime protection. The precious Sangha is the sublime assistant. We offer this food to the three jewels, the sources of refuge. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart.
Turn to page 44. Page 44. Foundational all good qualities. This by Lama Tsongkhapa. This is the roadmap. This roadmap to enlightenment. What we did thus far. This is preparing us. And now, what is roadmap? Having accumulated merit and cleanse the mental defilements to the best we can. And what's roadmap to enlightenment? So this is roadmap. Let's read it together by contemplating meanings. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to them is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and it's difficult to find again. Please bless me to chant with mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. Out of death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, as abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. The seeking them is a door to all suffering. Recognizing your shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, great cushion arise. Vows, please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into samsara, so for all mother material beings, please bless me to see this twin in Supreme Bodhicitta and bear this responsibility for freeing material beings. Even if I develop Bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 times of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhicitta energy. Once I've pacified distraction to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate with my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding special inside. Having become a pure vessel by training the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gate of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and blessings of my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages, essence of Vajrayana, by praising with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teaching of the Holy. Like that, may the Gurus who showed noble path and special friends who practice have long lives, Peace bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separate from perfect gurus, enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the quality of stations of the paths, may cool attain the state of Vajratara. Okay, we'll recite the Miksama verse first in English, followed by Tibetan. And let me also explain a little bit about the background. As many of you already know the background, the story about this, how this verse came into being. This is the verse of the praise to Lama Tsongkhapa, initially composed by Lama Tsongkhapa himself, not for himself, but composed for his teacher, Jesu Renda Shunulutu. And the actual verse goes like, to make him over Jambayan, to woman Samanda, Kajin Kibet Sugan Rendawa, Shunulutu Shabba Soadeb. This is the original version. Then the content matter of this verse is that the Lama Tsongkhapa, who's the Tanga is depicted here, and here also, Lama Tsongkhapa, he equated his teacher, Jesu Renda Shunulutu, as the embodiment of the three perfect qualities: perfect knowledge, perfect power, and the perfect love. So the three depicted or manifested in the form of the three the Buddhas or the Bodhisattvas, and in the Sutra system they are referred to as the Bodhisattvas, and in the Tantra system they are referred to as Buddhas. At Manjushri, as the Bodhisattva, because that's what we are doing here is in this Sutra system, so therefore we should treat these great Arya Bodhisattvas, the Arya beings as the Bodhisattvas. At Manjushri as the Bodhisattva of the final Bodhisattva of wisdom, and our Avalokiteshvara as a Bodhisattva of compassion, and our Vajrapani as a Bodhisattva of power. And Lama Tsongkhapa equated his teacher, Renda Shunulutu, his qualities with these three enlightened Bodhisattvas. And Jesu Renda Shunulutu, he read it, and what he did was that he erased his own name and replaced that with his student's name, Lama Tsongkhapa's name, saying that this praise fits better with you with respect to qualities rather than mine. So therefore, this poem is extremely blessed. First of all, composed by Lama Tsongkhapa himself, and then the later passed down to us by his teacher, Jesu Renda Shunulutu, saying that these are the real qualities of Lama Tsongkhapa. So henceforth, from that time on, then in Tibet, all over in Tibet, this verse is being said with incredible great reverence and on a large scale. So we'll say this together, first in English, followed by Tibetan. And reading the Tibetan, you know that we skip the third line, not for any other reason, just to accommodate the melody. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, teacher who holds with demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Losan top by at your feet and my prostration. Okay, we'll say this together 3 times in Tibetan. I chant this. Chenme kembe wambu jambe yam kaje kebe tsoye tsongkhapa la sa ta be sham la so wa de me te se Chenme gembe omu yande ya kaje gebe tsoye tsongkhapa la sa ta be sham la so wa de. Or we'll say this once more in English. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of laws of wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, dissolve hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sage of the land who snows, Losan top by edge of feet and make prostrations. Okay, now we will take a short break for this group.
Discussion because according to the schedule, the next teaching session is supposed to be 11:30 to 12.
Yes.
But if we would like to adjourn for the group discussion, then maybe we will just delay the second teaching session.
We can delay a little bit, yes. So what we can do is that we can come back at.
So that then that means they then proceed to lunch already, because lunch is provided around 12:30.
Okay, yes. Or you can split the group into, identify the groups.
Already we've done it.
You've done it. Oh, that's good. So we'll have another, let's say it's 11, almost 11:20. We have another 10 minutes more. We'll just take a recess, a short break, like 10, 11 minutes, and we'll come back for the next session.
There's no group discussion.
So, no. So group discussions will happen in the afternoon from 4:30 to 5:30. For today, from tomorrow, the morning session, the morning group, the two groups, just the mandatory group discussions, and one optional in the evening. So we'll take a short break, 10 minutes.